wanted to spend a little bit of time detailing how Tether customers can drive real action using our out-of-the-box scoring features. So Tether customers have an opportunity to use our measures like the Tether Effort Index and the Agent Impact Score as an always-on measure to really identify the best and worst interactions. They are predicting what customers would have said had you surveyed them about how easy or how difficult that interaction was. And now Tether customers who are also Qualtrics customers have access to world-class workflow tools that can really drive downstream action using Tether data. So I just wanted to give you a few different examples. In this case, I'm looking at a situation with an agent, and the agent's having trouble providing guidance to their customers. And you can see that both in terms of the percentage of calls where things are difficult for that agent impact score, but mostly as you see sort of zero in on what positive things are happening, you'll see very low amounts of proactive guidance. As a supervisor or as a team leader, this would trouble me. I want my agents providing as much guidance to my customers as possible. In fact, when that doesn't happen, I want to flag it every single time for those supervisors. So hopefully it's a rare occurrence, but I want them to know every time it happens. So as a Tether customer who also has access to Qualtrics, I can ship that data to Qualtrics and initiate really powerful workflow items. In this case, I've set up an action item inside the Qualtrics environment. And what you'll see here is I've got Tether data that's being piped to the Qualtrics environment. In this case, I'm showing every situation when the Tether effort index is less than 4. That means customer is highly frustrated, really poor experience, and no guidance was given by that agent. So not only were they not displaying what we call advocacy, where they're showing them that they're on their side, but they're not providing any other type of guidance whatsoever. Again, hopefully that's rare, but when it happens, I want to know every single time it does happen. So I create a notification situation where supervisors get alerted to these situations when this happens. Customers really frustrated, agent didn't handle it in the way that I'd want. So they didn't provide the guidance that we would look for. They weren't able to help redirect the customer as to how to avoid this situation later. And very likely as a result, invited another call, which creates more cost and an entirely frustrating customer situation. So supervisor alert, agent provided zero guidance to a frustrated customer, and I shipped that off to the right type of supervisor. Again, automating actions using tethered data. Let's go to another example. In this case, I've got a customer who's extra frustrated. They're so frustrated, in fact, that they're talking about churning out. And I know that on two fronts, both by the Tether Effort Index score, when anytime it's less than 4, we know that's a real potential churn situation. You can see in this case, 11% of my interactions there. But there's also ways to measure the explicit signals they're sending when they're saying, literally, I'm looking to churn out or you guys are the worst. And I want to know, why is that happening? And in this case, when that's happening, you can see high degrees of frustration and specifically frustration with respect to refund status and payment arrangements and so forth. So this is, of course, not a situation I'd want to have. I want to avoid these situations. And when they happen, I want to make sure I'm reaching out to those customers to get more feedback and make sure that we're giving them a hug for those situations. All things that I can do really easily inside of Qualtrics. So I ship this data to Tether every single time one of these things happens, something's going to occur. So in this case, I'm automating anytime when the Tether effort index is scores a less than 4, again, really troubling potential churn situation, but they're also saying, hey, I'm leaving, I'm out of here. They happen to be concerned about situations with respect to pricing situations. And so I can create notifications for different people across the business. I can update XM directory to reflect the situation with this customer. Hey, it's a potential churn situation. And I can even automate that survey to that customer such that I can reach out directly, close the loop with that frustrated customer and make sure they understand that we're looking for additional feedback. And what we find from our customers is that when this happens, you get much higher response rates, really happy customers because they feel heard, right? And of course, I gather additional feedback and data about what might be happening here. So we cause some confusion and frustration. There's a situation with a refund, and I want to make sure that I'm asking them to fill out that survey. So again, really easy way to automate that situation. Now let's look at one last situation. In this case, I've got a frustrating digital experience happening for my customers, right? So I know that because in this given situation, I have a higher than average amount of channel switch, which you'd expect when they're looking to execute some sort of service option on the website. They can't. They have to come into the call center and talk to the agent about that situation. I also see a high degree of app issues. So relative to, call it SMS or web issues, app seems to be the thing that really is spiking for them. And when you circle in on this channel switch situation, see a lot of things around password, online issues, password issues, and so forth. So I want to make sure that when those things are happening, my customers are having trouble logging into the app, I'm going to alert different parts of the business so that we can make sure not only can we fix it for that customer, but how can we fix it for future customers so they don't have these same issues? So in this case, I've got a digital experience action set up here inside of Qualtrics. I'm sending this situation where TEI of less than 4, so it's conditionally set on situations when the customer's upset, they're having an issue with an app, and they're trying to log in. And so I might send an email to that customer. How can we improve our login situation? Again, reaching out, closing the loop with that customer, but I also want to create a notification for the web team. I want to flag it for them and notify them and make sure they understand, hey, this isn't just a normal situation where a customer didn't remember their password. This was a situation when they had an issue logging in, and it was so frustrating for them that the TEI score was less than 4. And we know these are situations where they're far more likely to churn out. And so these are the situations you really want on your radar. These are the places where you have highly frustrating situations. I'm going to send that email over to the web team so they can take a look at these different calls that are associated with these situations. They are flagged for them and they know how to go, what to go and do to fix those situations for future customers. So just 3 really simple ways that our customers, Tethr customers and Qualtrics customers together, can take really powerful data combined with really powerful workflow actions tools inside of Qualtrics, automate actions from experiential data found in conversation.